Henry. Our hero Henry.
It's been a while, but now we can
Finally
finally show you.
the rest of the breakdown of this gameplay video. I took you outside so we can walk around the places and hopefully we see all of them, because I have a stroller here, so we will see when my kid wakes up. Anyway, I'm Gutenberg Martin. Hi, I have a master degree in history and I'm a surveyor of historical buildings. I will show you how it looks around here, and we will walk slowly the pace we saw in the game. So as you can see, we last left off in this building, like this one. It's the Charles IV Inn in the game. Next to it you can see the stone house with the sandstone facade. And now we are going right there. Right here you can see this charcoal guys. Charcoal was very important at the time, because it was easier to transport than the classical wood. So you could deliver it in long distances, but also you could heat up this material more than a wood. So it was quite important in the smelters. You could not use wood like that. You had to use this charcoal. You also saw in the first game quite a lot of charcoal burners, and that's because even from that region it was also delivered here in Gutenberg. So that's why even in this quite wider distances you had this guys creating this material. So now we are going to this square where the fountain is. It of course looks a bit different than in the game, because when we get closer you can see even an inscription from what year it was made. So the water was very important material or source or thing. You needed a fresh water here in the town, because most of the other sources were poisoned from the mining. It was poisoned, yeah, like you could not drink it. So here the water was brought from another source, not so far from here, about 3 kilometers, but I will probably not show you that right now, because it would kind of spoil you possibly something you would made in a game. You can see from the inscription it's from 1497. I really like how they made the 4. It's like a half of 8, so it kind of makes sense. And yeah, I liked that the 4 was kind of developed from 8 as its half. Yep. Even though we saw already that first video I started to break down from the Gamescom, there was already a second one by developers, and they were talking about this house and those niches you can see in the first floor, that they are possibly from Gothic time, and you can also saw them in the game. So it's still there and it's quite lovely. Alright, now we will go this street down. I will hopefully get to some sidewalk. In this place we can see in the game there is some like huge facility, and I'm not sure exactly what that should be, because in that time in reality there was a block of houses. We know that because there was even after Hussite wars one owner who kind of wanted the reparations for the house, but it was in that time already a town hall. So from 1424, when the town burned down, the town hall moved to this place. Anyway, so we are working here, and in the game you are trying to steal a sword from a sword school or some fencing school. So it's going to be a little bit complicated now, because we have to turn right, and as you can see in a minute, there is this lovely pub or restaurant. If you ever visit Kutná, you should try it here. It's like this traditional restaurant. Anyway, so in a game you kind of walk through there, but it's not now possible. So I will walk around, and we will catch up with the game again on the square right in front of Hrádek. Ta-da! And we are in front of this building, which in the game is the fencing school. I will give you a spin around. So you can see we are on this tiny square. Here on the right side is the Hrádek. It's this like little castle, and in the time of the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, it was owned by a guy, Václav or Venceslas of Donín. Well, supposedly, because we are not really sure who owned what in the time period, but his daughter later sold it, so it's like supposed he owned it before. Now we are going with this little lovely alley, and we will see in a game right around the corner this huge palace like building, and as you can see in reality there is nothing like that. This building, it's no longer here. It's actually not even so sure where it was, or at least I haven't I've not spoken with archaeological guys, so maybe I should ask them. But yeah, the building, what is in the game, I suppose it's this palace of house of Rudharts. So Rudharts were this powerful family at the time in town of Kuttenberg. There were two this powerful families, Rudharts and Písek, and as you can see, if we have two powerful families there in the game will be probably on the opposite sides. I will not tell you now who's going to be on which side, but keep that in mind, that these two families we will probably see in the game. And now we are closing on the Church of St. James. Again, more I will talk about it when we finally see it in a game, even with the interior, because I think it would be a little bit waste of time to dig too deep in this building now. Anyway, what I find interesting is that in the time of the game, this church is not dedicated to St. James, but to Virgin Mary. It's because the settlers monastery, who had a huge influence on everything churchical or what was connected to church here in town, they also dedicated most of their churches to Virgin Mary, and the dedication was switched in year or not in year, but on the turn of 15th and 16th century. So like 100 years after the game. And here in front of us is Italian Court. That's this most important building in a town, and possibly a most important building in the kingdom, because there was this mint, so all the groschen in the kingdom were from this single building, or not even in the kingdom, because the groschen were used all around the Middle Europe. In the game we already heard that it's the place where the king was like sleeping when he was in the town, so it was like his home during his visits. And yeah, possibly we can see there King Sigismund with the face of Ondřej Vetký, the actor. So yeah, also I would like to talk about it more when we see it from the insides out in the game. So yeah, let's not get too much deep to it. Maybe interesting thing which is not so commonly known, it's actually kind of copy, because during the 19th century it was totally reconstructed by the purists, so it's unfortunately quite different, especially on the inside, because now it's used as a town hall. So current town hall is in this building. There is right here is also quite a nice bar. If you ever visit, you can go there. Yeah, so we already talked about two town halls actually, one between 1424 and 1499, and one which is currently has its this function. And right on the main square we will talk about two others, so just wait for it when we get there. So anyway, I'm a little bit sorry for this bumpy video, but I had a lot of work last month, and actually this stroll walk I thought it's best way to make at least some video for you guys, so I hope you can manage through this. So as you can see, we have already a Christmas time, so our beautiful Christmas tree is in place, and we are approaching the main town square. The history of this town square is also quite colorful. So I will just tell you that right in the middle of this square was in the time of 1499 to the 1780, I think, another town hall. It was right in the middle, and yeah, it burned down and nothing left. So yeah, quite a lot of burnings in this town. And what you saw in the game, the town hall, until 1424, before it burned down, it was on this corner. And yeah, in the game it's probably a little bit this way too much. I think they used this old, or not too old, but like this map of Kutná Hora's underground, like all the cellars, and they suppose that it stood there, but It's possible that there was also another building on the corner and the town hall was more to the right. The huge building from the turn of 19th and 20th century you see in that street, that's on the place where the meat shop was. So this like huge meat shop. Okay, so that's all for now. I hope it was not too much crazy because there was obviously no script to that. And as I said, I would like to dig deeper in each buildings we pass through when the game is out. And I'm of course collecting a lot of material to do that. I'm also trying to get my hands on this super deep paper about the pavings because the pavings were something you were interested in, and yeah, I hope you will like this. It would really help me if you can subscribe and leave some comment what you would like to see next. Anyway, it was nice from you to watching this, and hopefully we will see each other soon, and hopefully even here in Kuttenberg if you ever visit. So see you, bye.